Oh, for frig's sakes, people, it's Sunday here. Yeah, even though you guys are probably watching this here, maybe on a Sunday, I don't know. But it's Sunday here. The Walking Dead airs tonight. It's the last episode. My hair is growing all wonky. I'm probably going to give her another buzz again. This time, hopefully, get more even of a cut. And I'm thinking about trimming the beard, like I mentioned before in the past vlog. I'm going to, like, trim the sides down. But I want this shit to grow in, like, really long and crazy, like, so I can look like one of those hillbillies. Thought that'd be kind of cool, maybe. Probably not. But it's about 6 o'clock at night. I just got finished watching the season 4 of Walking Dead, and by that I mean I'm all caught up, and tonight is the last episode, so I definitely want to catch that. Right now what I'm going to do is put on some socks, and I'm going to try and head out to the garage and barbecue a steak. Now I couldn't get into the garage yesterday because, frig's sakes, the sliding door is frozen to the ground, and there was ice built up around the side door, and I couldn't open it. The door was trying to fold in on itself. Son of a bitch. So I'm hoping this summer, because I keep saying this, hoping this summer Dad can find time to come over and give me a hand to take that old shitty door off and put the new oak door on, so that I can have a decent side door on that garage, because that oak door, number 1, is awesomer than frig, number 2 is solider than frig, and number 3 is always in my way in the garage. So if we could A, cut it to fit and install it, I would get 2 birds thrown at once. Number 1, I'd have an awesome door, and number 2, all my drawers on the bench would be accessible and not blocked by a 6-foot door of solid oak. Awesome. So I looked at my aunt's computer, I brought it upstairs, fired it up. This thing is fucked. Like, big times toasted. So I forgot about this old rig I had in the garage. This is the one that I got from the Elementary Teachers Federation. It was pretty shot. What the hell was it? I can't remember what the problem with this one was. Basically, it needed parts that we couldn't get, but they wanted a new computer anyway. They just wanted the stuff off the hard drive because this thing was slower than shit. So what I might do for my aunt is rebuild this thing, this Acer. Kind of looks like the old M1100. Let me flip it around for you. But before I do that, I'll show you on the back. It's got onboard video, onboard like everything. USB ports, network, audio. I had this one sitting in the garage and brought it in the house. It's got a DVD burner onto it, and it's got an Intel Pentium dual-core processor, which is way the frig better than this thing's old dirty Celeron 2.7 gigahertz single core, 256 megs of RAM, 40 gig hard drive. I don't know what the the hard drive in this is missing, so I'll have to put a new hard drive into it. I think I have a couple upstairs that are kind of meh. Clean it up a bit because, like I said, it's been sitting in the garage. But I'm going to take it apart, clean it out, fire it up, see if she goes. And hopefully I can get it working, because this thing here is scrap. It's old. I have no parts to fix it. Tried to explain that to Dad. For some reason he thinks I'm an engineer from fucking Star Trek, you know. You know what I'm talking about if you watch Star Trek. You know, where they take a torpedo hit right to the Enterprise, and she's right dicked, and some magical way the engineer manages to spin a wrench and the fucking thing comes back to life. Well, for some reason Dad thinks I'm like that. He thinks that I can just magically make things work. Well, I'm sorry, I'm no magician, I'm no Star Trek engineer. When you're dealing with a computer from, 1978, no, I'm kidding, from 1990s at least. When you're dealing with a computer from the 1990s, there's only so much you can do, especially when parts are not available for it. The RAM hasn't been in production for this rig since like early 2000s, probably when they quit, when DDR2 came out. So fighting a losing battle with an old toaster, like, this is the reason why people upgrade PCs. It's because repair parts and spare parts no longer become available, and that makes this thing impossible to fix. If I would have known this thing was this much of an old toaster, I probably would have told Dad, no, I can't fix it. She's SOL. But luckily, I'm going to be nice. I'm not going to leave her empty-handed. I'm going to try and get this piece of shit up and running. For me, it's a piece of shit. For her, it'll be a Cadillac. If I can get this thing up and running, I'll give that to her. And then I need to explain to my dad that no more am I doing freebies for freebie work like this, because what people don't understand is, yeah, I fix computers, but I do it 5 days a week at work. Do you honestly think on my weekends I want to do the same thing? I want to keep fixing computers. Like, I was built to fix computers? No. I want to do other things. I want to play video games. I want to, have fun and do things, not have to spend my entire weekend formatting and reinstalling Windows on an old toaster oven for no reason whatsoever, I don't want to do that. And that's like Dad was saying. Like, he's like, oh, well, the reason why your computers aren't broken is because you know this shit. Well, it's not that I know this shit. It's that I'm careful on the internet. I know what sites not to go to. I don't click on things and wreck things. That's the way I play it, you know? You gotta be careful on the internet because people purposely make sites to fish out your information and to fuck your shit up. But, you know, it is what it is. So, anyway, tonight I plan on doing that. And the last episode of Walking Dead comes on, I think they said at 9 o'clock. Now, I have TV here, but I don't even know if it's still working. I haven't even turned it on for 2 years. I'm going to wait till about 11, 12. And then this website I go to called Megashare, basically they have streaming options on there, and they stream The Walking Dead. So by around midnight tonight, it'll probably be up, and then I'll watch it. Then I'll be all caught up, and the season will be over, and I'll be, like, you know, glorious. But, also, quick little update. It's been like 3 days. Hey, Scampers. Look at her. Look at her. She's just scamping around. She's such a turd. But the carpet took some discoloration due to the water damage. It's I've been running the shop vac here on it like crazy and draining it out and coming down. Like I come down an hour and then go over the carpet with the shop vac, suck up all the dirt and stuff. But you know he explodes all the time. Oh, don't do that. Stop it. Would you cut it out? But I managed to clean up this as much as possible, and it's dry now. Like I'm walking on, it's still a little damp, but the vacuum's not pulling that dampness out. But I managed to suck up as much water as possible. The new hot water heater works amazing, way better than the old one, which I didn't think was possible. I figured, you know, it is what it is, just a hot water heater. How could it work better than the other one? But apparently it does. So that, my friends, is a friggin' bonus. But as for me, I am going to grab some steaks. We are going to head out to the garage. And we're going to barbecue this up. And I'm going to put some rice in the cooker. And we're going to have steak and rice to make everything nice. I need to get some food in my belly. I haven't eaten anything since I woke up. I woke up late today because I just didn't feel like getting out of bed. And yeah. It's just been one of those days. One of those days. Anyway, let's get rolling. Holy shit. It's like a fucking skating rink in here, people. Oh, man. And these shoes on ice are completely useless. I just kicked over the tank. Fire up the queue. Oh, yeah, bitch. We'll heat her up. Scrape her off. Frig yeah. Soon, Canadian Tire will be selling more propane, so I'm probably going to have to get that bomb reloaded. But, yeah, I'm having problems opening my door in the garage. And as you notice, it's staying open now because of all the ice buildup around it. Now it's warm enough in here where I could probably take Oreo's poop shovel right there. Scrape all that ice out. But, I don't know. It's going to be getting warm all next week, too, so this garage is going to get flooded. Just flooded. It's going to be shit, but look, you can tell it's gonna get flooded. You can see fucking light from underneath the door. So, yeah. Oh well, let's get cooking some food. There, just scraped where I'm standing so I can have a level spot to stand on. For Frig sakes, it's slippery here. So lately I've been watching a lot of Netflix, and I finished all of Weeds. Well, I thought I did, because Weeds on Canadian Netflix only goes to season 5. And the Americans have 6, 7, and 8, which is the full show. So I was like, well, for frig's sakes, like, that's not right. How come Canada doesn't have it? It's because Canada Netflix sucks. We pay the exact same amount as the Americans do for our Netflix, which is like $8 or $9 a month, whatever it is, $8.99 I think it is, or $7.99. I can't remember. I'll have to check the bill. But we pay, and it's US too when they charge us, so it's $7.99 US. So that's pretty much what you guys pay, I believe. And we get less programs than you guys do. Why? Because the CRTC is full of shit. The CRTC doesn't want, basically they state that 70% of all the shows on Canadian Netflix must be of Canadian origin. So it's like 70% of the shows are Canadian and the other 30 can be whatever, UK, US, whatever. What's stupid is that's why they only have 5 seasons of Weeds and they won't put any more on there. And in order for them to put more on there, they got to take stuff off. So they cycle shows. Well, I found this great program. I used to use Hola Unblocker, which worked great for unlocking Netflix, except for you'd watch a TV show and then you'd have to sit through a 3-minute advert and you couldn't block it. Ad blocker didn't work for that. Then you have to sit there and wait for it. Then you can watch another TV show, and then it might go to the next one, or it might roll another advert because they want to get paid. And it's like, fuck, I can't do this. Like, this is ridiculous. So I found another plugin for Chrome called Netflix Proxy. This only works for Netflix, doesn't work for Hulu or Pandora or any of the other US streaming things. Only works for Netflix, and it gave me 6, 7, and 8 of Weeds. So I've been watching that since I'm caught up on The Walking Dead. And that show is getting right crazy. Like, right crazy. It was pretty awesome when it started. Now it's just getting weird. But I'm going to finish it because it's a pretty awesome show nonetheless. Pretty awesome. Just cooking up that meat. Oh yeah, just cooking up that meat. Look at it cook. Good. It's going to be legendary. But while watching The Walking Dead, I was like, oh my god, like there's a lot of shit that happens. I don't really want to say too much because I don't know who's watched it and who's waiting to binge watch it. And even though this is going to go up like way after the show's been over for the season, some people are like me, but they wait a little longer and they really wait to binge watch it. Some people wait till it comes out on Netflix. So I don't want to say too much about the show, except for, man, if you're in a group, like if this ever happened, where zombies broke out and started fucking with shit, and you're in a group, and that group has children in it, I feel sorry for you guys, because kids suck. Like, kids are awesome and all. Yeah, they're awesome as people. But in a situation like that, when they get scared and they start screaming, that just attracts more horde. You don't want that. And anybody who's watched the show knows what I'm talking about, especially a baby. Babies have 3 functions: eat, poop, cry. Well, 4. They sleep too sometimes. But a lot of my friends who have babies will beg to differ that they sleep. But, but yeah, so, you know, if you have a baby crying, zombies are going to hear that, and they're going to come in and investigate, and your shit could get wrecked really, really fast. I also discovered that no matter how good you think you have it in a zombie outbreak, there's always one aspect that nobody considers to ruin it. And no, that's not zombies. That's other jealous humans. And anybody who watches this season of The Walking Dead will know exactly what I'm talking about. And anybody who didn't watch it, don't worry, I won't ruin it for you. But let's just say humans are the worst in a situation like that. Because jealousy ensues, they get greedy, and all hell breaks out. Even when one group wants to compromise with the other group never wants to compromise. They want everything for themselves. And that's why it just doesn't work out. So that, and Scott and I at work, we were talking about this thing, about zombies. If that were to happen, you have your melee weapon, and then if you do have like a long range weapon, like a pistol or a shotgun or whatever it may be, you don't use that on the zombies. Because we all know the moment you pull that trigger, those geeks are coming out of the woods and they're coming at you full tits. However, you go in for silent kills with like a baseball bat, a katana, crowbar, fucking lead pipe, tree branch, club, billy club, fucking broomstick, fluorescent light bulb. Where is it? Fluorescent light bulb? That wouldn't last. But whatever you use for melee, you can usually be pretty silent with it. A bow would work too, but you got to keep in mind now you got to carry ammunition. But melee for zombies, and you save your guns and your ammo for other humans that just want to fuck your shit up. Because unfortunately, in a situation like that, you're gonna have a lot of assholes that are just gonna. They won't care about you. They don't care about survivors. They just care about surviving, and they'll kill geeks or humans. They don't give a shit. It's just the way she goes. But yeah, on Friday, we sat there and we talked about it in the office, because he's really big into The Walking Dead and zombies and all that nonsense like me. So we just sat there and talked about it for a while, and it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny, like the discussion we had. Like a whole, it's going to happen, here's the prep situation, do, you know? So, and like he was having a chat with his 16-year-old daughter about it, because she's like, oh, I don't know why they don't just take the guns and go and kill all the zombies. Well, ammunition is no longer being produced in the real world. I think that's what he explained to her. He's like, ammunition is no longer being produced in the real world. And every time you make a gun go off and it makes that loud bang, that bang is heard for miles. Especially in a world where the zombies have taken over and industry is disabled. You have nothing cutting the sound down. There's no traffic on highways making noise pollution. You know, you got nothing. It's really quiet now. The world is in silence. Hell, if hydro is out or power's out, then you really have nothing making any sound. Hell, you don't even have streetlights at night. I know when, back in 2006, when North Bay got nailed by that microburst in June, we had no power for 2 days. And let me tell you, when the night hit, you could really see the stars, because there was not a street light to be on for miles. Entire northern Ontario was out. Actually, I think the entire Ontario was out. Toronto was the first one that got back up and running. But, yeah, it was brutal, that microburst. And she was quiet at night. You didn't hear cars driving around. You had no power, so you were living off of whatever light you had. Luckily, I had a lot of flashlights with batteries. And that guy over there on the wall, the radio, crank radio. So at least we had some form of entertainment. You know, crank it up, play some AM radio, because the radio stations were running on Jenny power. Gas pumps, only ones that worked were the manual ones, because the electric ones weren't working, obviously. Like, it was a crazy situation. And the best part is we had no power and I still had to go into work. Couldn't log into my phone, didn't really do anything, just kind of sat there, did nothing. You know, everything was dicked, so we did nothing. It was awesome. But then when everything got fixed up, then we got the calls coming in from the customers because their phone lines weren't working, and we had to like contact Bell or wherever and send people out to like fix shit. And oh my god, it was brutal. But I wasn't living here back then. I was still living with my parents. That was the year I bought this house in 2006. Bought the house May 2006, or April 2006. Closing was in August. And that's also when, after the microburst, me and the ex were driving around looking at all the damage, and I did a drive by the house, and there used to be 2 Manitoba maples in the front yard. Well, the one uprooted itself and was laying on this garage. And I told the guy, I'm like, bro, you need to get that off of there. And he goes, oh, it's not my problem. House is sold. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not taking the house in that condition. And he goes, well, you're going to have to take that up with my lawyer. So sure enough, I called my lawyer, and there's a new stipulation put into place. Ownership doesn't transfer, and he doesn't get his money until that tree is removed and the house is cleaned up and damages are repaired. Oh, he was pissed. He was pissed that I did that, but like I would take the house with a fucking tree laying on it. And then the other Manitoba maple, I took that down because the hydro dicks were complaining that the tree was like wrapping around all their fucking hydro and all that, and they're like, you need to take that down and stuff, and if you don't, then we're going to charge you and things. So I called the guy who knew a guy who had a guy with a guy, and we came over and he took it down for a couple bucks. So down came the tree, and that's why there's still a stump laying there that I still haven't dealt with, and that's now growing another tree out of it. Friggin' awesome! Holy shit, look at the icicles coming off the house. They go right down to the ground. That's hardcore. If Oreo got over there and bit one of those, it'd probably go through my window. That'd suck. If I had an airsoft rifle that was full right now, I would totally just start shooting at them, seeing if I could chisel them off. But all my gear is depleted on power. I need to recharge batteries and get more airsoft BBs. But I don't really need them because, yeah, I haven't used them much. I'm thinking about selling them. Frig it. And no, I'm not shipping them. Smarten up, they're fucking guns. It's pretty bad that you have to mention no, you're not shipping it in the video. But every time I say I'm probably going to sell something, I get like 5 fucking PMs from people. Well, how much if you ship it to my house and things and blah blah blah. And it's always the same people too who want to ship, right? But then you tell them, okay, listen, it's going to be like $400, and they're like, I'll give you like 100 and you can drive it to my house. You know, because that's awesome. But you always get those people who like beg and want, you know, shit for fuck all. And it's like, no. If I sell them, they're going to be either going up on Kijiji or another classified site. And it'll be, they come here, pick them up. And then they give me the money, they take the item and frig off. Because I don't do shipping. That's bullshit. Which, once again, is why I use Spreadshirt for my shirts. Just saying. Well, these greasy sons of a bitches that are covered in fat, worst steaks I ever bought ever, are pretty much done. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these off the grill, bring them in the house, and get my supper ready. Frig yeah. Well, the rice isn't done yet, but it's getting damn close. So I'm gonna go ahead and make myself a plate. Gonna go eat. It's currently 6:36, so 2.5 hours. Walking Dead comes on, and then 2 to 3 hours after that, it goes live on Megashare, and then I'll get my shit caught up. Worst case in Ontario, I gotta watch it tomorrow. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Oh, look at that! A whole video that I did, and I didn't vape once. Well, I was vaping, but I never put it on camera. Well, I might as well show you guys. I wanted to try one of these tanks out, talking to John over at VIP Juices, and he recommended the Victory tank by Vision. Holds 5 ml of juice. It's not too bad. Has the same type of coil as like an EVOD or a Pro tank. You know, puts out a decent amount of vapor for what it is on a little Ego battery. So, and it holds 5 ml of e-liquid, which is nice. But I've been using that all weekend, just dicking around with it and stuff, and pretty good Clearo. Pretty good Clearo. I usually always buy Kanger or Inokin or Inokin or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But for a cheap tank, it's like $6. 5 ml tank, you can't go wrong, and you can rebuild the coils if you're good at that kind of thing. So right on, 5 mils. But anyway, people, I'm gonna go ahead and make myself a plate, go eat it, watch some more weeds, and then hey, Scammers, get out of her food. Geez, you're a bad cat. Eating Oreos food is more expensive than hers. But I'm gonna make myself a plate, go eat, edit this vlog up, chuck it up to YouTube's, and yeah, just gonna give her for the rest of the night. Maybe I'll make another video, I don't know. But hopefully you enjoyed this one, and if you did, click that like button. Questions, comments, concerns, down below they go. And until next time, people, keep on vlogging.